Hi class, my name is Sarah McCurdy. I'm a freelance writer here in Fargo, but my first career was as a television news reporter. So I'm here to teach you today about how to write a reader. And what a reader is, it's a simple story that you'll see on the news. It's usually 20 to 30 seconds long, and you'll just see the anchor on screen. Every once in a while you might see a graphic over their shoulder as well, just to kind of add some interest to the story. But it's a story that sometimes they might pull off the wire and have to rewrite, or maybe it's breaking news and they don't have video to show you. So that's kind of the concept behind the reader. It's also a way for you to connect with the anchor, so it's not just video all the time. You know who's reading the news and you know who's delivering the news. So that's another reason to have a reader. A couple things about readers. You never want to have your opinion, just the facts. Also, television news writing is much different than newspaper writing in that you'll find very short declarative sentences. You'll never see a comma on a teleprompter. And that's because it's easier for the viewer at home, for their ears to kind of digest the information. Whereas in a newspaper, you can go back and reread if you didn't quite catch something. One of the most important pieces of any story really is the lead. You don't want to bury the lead, and by that I mean you don't want to take the most important part of the story and put it at the very end. If you feel it's the most important part of the story, you should put it at the very beginning and try to hook the viewers in with what the story is going to be about. One common story that you'll see is maybe a story about a fire. So let's talk about that for a second. And as far as the lead goes, it has to be active voice just like the rest of your writing, right? We don't want to have passive voice. So a tip that I can give you is to think of SVO when you are writing, and that would mean subject, verb, object. So for example, if you're writing about a fire, and in the story you're saying, the fire destroyed the house. That's perfect, it's active. We know what the fire is doing. The fire is what destroyed the house, which would be the object, right? You don't want to have that in reverse because that's not active writing. So a poor example would be the house was destroyed by fire. So hopefully you can see the difference there. You want the subject to be first, always, and then what action did that subject perform, basically. Another tip I have for you is to avoid cliches. You will hear these on the news all the time, whether it's local news or national news, even the network news, you'll hear a lot of cliches. And really, if you just take those out, your writing will be a lot stronger because it will push you to use other words instead of falling back on cliche phrases, basically. So when you're putting together your reader, just make sure that the most important information is at the top, that you're writing in short declarative sentences, that you're putting that subject first in the sentence, and that you're keeping it to around 20 to 30 seconds. So try to condense all of your information into that kind of time frame and you should be fine. Best of luck.